This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning team in this Microsoft Fabric Master Program. So in today's session we will talk about mastering Delta Lake. Today we will understand what is Delta Lake, how to create a manage tables and external tables, because there are two types of tables. One is manage, second is external table. So we will see how to create managed and external table. Then we will talk about the delta utilities. Delta utilities means I want to know about whether it is a managed table or not. I want to know path of the managed table or external table. I want to know about let's say history, what all changes are done on that particular table. So I want to know properties of that table. So if you want to know anything, you can able to use delta utilities to fetch those details. So we will be learning these things in today's session. So first let's understand, we will learn today what is Delta Lake, why we want to use Delta Lake, difference between traditional database, how the old industry has changed from traditional database to data lakes, then Delta Lakes we will see, then solution architecture with the Delta Lake we will see, difference between managed versus external table, different ways to create a databases and tables, different ways to drop databases, tables, Fabric, Spark, Delta Lake utilities, Fabric, Spark table constraints, how to insert data into Delta tables in append and overwrite mode, how to copy data from external file into Delta table, how to create Delta table with CTAS. These things we'll be discussing in today's session team. So let's start with this. What is Delta Lake? Delta Lake in Microsoft Fabric notebooks is the default storage format for Lakehouse tables. So if you remember our OneLake will store data in which format, Tim? Our OneLake will store data in which format? Okay. So OneLake means, remember, it's a single storage for the Fabric. In OneLake only, whatever lakehouses, where our warehouses, whatever we are creating, those are getting created on top of the OneLake. Now data that we are going to store it in the lakehouse and warehouse, right? The data that we are storing in the lakehouse and warehouse, the data is going to be stored in the delta format, meaning background there will be delta log, then there will be dot parquet files. Okay, that's what I think I have already shown you. Maybe I'm not sure why you people are not answering. It's okay. It combines the scalability of a data lakes with the reliability of a database by supporting. Okay, it also supports the ACID transactions of the data consistency, schema enforcement and evolution, time travel for versioned data, efficient reads and writes for big data workloads. What is meant by that? One by one we'll go. ACID transactions for data consistency. ACID transaction means atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Atomicity means, simple terms I'll tell you. For example, I transferred a 100 rupees to Vinay account. So what happens? There is a transaction failed in between. So when transaction failed in between, the money should be available in my account or money should be available in the Vinay account. It should not be in the middle. It should not get stuck in the middle. Correct? That is called atomicity, meaning the transaction will make sure it will be rolled back and amount to get it back to credited back to my account, or it must be reached to the Vinay account. That is called atomicity. Consistency means when 100 rupees deducted from my account, it must be reaching 100 rupees only to the Vinay account. It should not be 50 rupees or 150 rupees. 100 rupees deducted from my account means only 100 rupees should be there. That is called consistency. It will make sure that same amount which is deducted in my account will be reaching the Vinay account. Isolation. I am sending to Vinay account 100 rupees. Is another friend also sending some 200 rupees. Now we both sending 100 and 200 at same time. Then Delta will make sure both are isolated, meaning it will make sure both transactions should not happen at once. It will make sure one by one transaction is happened. Both transaction it will maintain in a different different way, meaning one after the one another transaction it will make sure to happen. Durability. So money is deducted, it is not reached, I don't have any details also. While it is fetching the transaction details and all, there is a server crashed, there is a power cut, then this data, whatever transaction data that is there, that will be saved into particular medium definitely. So meaning you never lose any data. Your data always be available. Your data always be available somewhere, even though if there is a power cut, server crashed, any other issues comes, your data will be safe. So these all things will be making sure by your Delta Lake. Delta Lake is guaranteeing you that data is atomic, consistent, isolated, durable. Okay. Next, let's talk about a schema enforcement and evolution. Okay. Schema enforcement means, for example, there is an employee table with employee ID, name, salary. Okay. So, like you have a three columns: employee ID, name, salary. Later, they added a employee role. Now, currently we have three columns, and next day they added four columns. Then what happens is Delta will make sure it will fail the job, because if you write a four columns, the data will go as inconsistent, right? Because earlier three columns are there, now you are making it as a four columns, it will be go as inconsistent. That's why it will throw an error until unless you say that, hey, this is, I know this, I want it, you have to tell. Then only it will allow you to extend the schema. That is called a schema evolution. You can evolve the schema. Time travel, for example, data is written already, somebody ran it manually again, there is a duplicate data I am able to see in the target. When you see duplicate data, when you see duplicate data in your reporting, so I realize that there is a data issue. I know that at 7 o'clock data is good, at 7:30 run, there is a data corruption happened. I want to time travel. I want to restore the data. Whatever data is there at 7 o'clock, I want to restore to 7 o'clock data. You can restore it. I want to restore to, you can restore by time, you can restore by version means, let's say 6 o'clock data version 0, 6:30 version 1, 7 o'clock version 2, 7:30 version 3. So I realized version 3 is corrupted, I want to restore to version 2, you can able to restore to version 2. Okay. Efficient reads and writes you can able to do, because how the delta will read the data is, there is a delta log will be there, you will come to know now. Log will be there first. Whenever you are reading the data, first it will go to log, it look at, okay, so for user wants to read this particular data, this particular records are available in what parquet files. Because delta means, remember, whenever I say delta, you should get it two things in your brain. One is delta log, second thing is parquet file. Because delta data will be maintained here, logs will be maintained in the delta log. Delta log will be there in a JSON file. Okay. Delta data will be there in a parquet file. Now whenever you write some data, whenever you write some data, the logs will be saved in the JSON file, the respective data will be inserted into parquet file. Somebody, when somebody queried this data, first it will check logs. Hey, user wants to check where employee is salary is 50,000. Is employee salary is 50,000. It we have to check 50,000 salary employees in which all files are available. Okay, parquet file 1, 5, these two files only we have a employees whose salary is 50,000. So then we will give these two file details. Spark will go and read these two parquet files. Understood? That's how it will make the read and writes efficient. That is what the delta lake. Now, how we evolved, why we are going to delta lake, if you want to understand, initially we have a database system. Databases, these are very fast for querying, because we have indexing, we have a lot of other concepts for querying the data. It will be very quick, easy to use. Easy to use means, like we can very easily query the data, we will see the relation between the tables very quickly, we can able to join and we can get the data. Databases also acid complaints that we discussed. CRUD operations. CRUD means it will allow you to create a new tables, update the existing data, delete the existing data, rename, anything you can able to do on the database. But the problem is it allows only structured data. That is the problem. Next, Hadoop came. Hadoop solved this problem that we have with only structured data. It will Hadoop allows structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, and it can able to process huge data by adding as many computers as it want. Easily scalable, you can store as much data as you have. Cost effective, the cost also very less compared to the databases. But the problem is Hadoop has some problem, that is Hadoop setup is little hard to use. Cluster, you have to manage computes, you have to manage storage, you need to manage jobs, so everything is managing at a different places. It is hard to use, and it supports only Java. So that is also one of the constraint. You need only Java people who knows Java. Those people only required to code it. No acid support. No acid support means whatever we are talking about, atomic consistency, isolation, durability, those things are not supported. CRUD operations, because Hadoop will store data in the files, you can't able to update the record, you can't delete the record, you can't add a new record to the existing files. The process is slow. To avoid this, we have a Nest Fabric Apache Spark. Fabric Apache Spark, what it is going to do? It is going to allow you to bring the structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. It will process. It is easily scalable because you have lot of things are available, right? Cloud-based storages which are very cheap. Everything you can manage at one place. It is easily scalable. Storage, you don't have any limit. It is faster because Fabric Spark, normal Spark itself is a in memory. It is very fast, right? It is high speed, and we are going to use this particular Spark with the Fabric is a SaaS component, right? You no need to even maintain the computes. It is easy to use because it's a SaaS component, right? You no need to even create the cluster. Everything is ready to use. Cost effective, it is still costly because Spark is costly. So next, no asset support, no CRUD operations are supported. Even though you are using the Spark, you can't able to make your asset supports and CRUD operations. That's where we are going with the Delta Lake. Delta Lakes brings asset support to CRUD operations along with the other options, allowing all types of data, including streaming data, easily scalable, faster, easy to use, asset supported, CRUD operations are supported, meaning whatever files you have on top of the files, you can make any updates, deletes, inserts. If you see here, you have a traditional databases allow only structured data, but data lake supports the structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Data lake means here our lake house. Delta Lake supports structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. Batch and streaming, no, it supports only the batch data. It supports only the batch data, but the Delta Lake supports batch and streaming data. Schema validation, at the time of writing, you have to write data exactly which is matching with the table. But here you don't have any such constraint. You can save the files. From the file you can create a table. If you want to change the table schema, you can change at any time. Schema evolution, so Delta Lake, you can change the schema. You, if you don't want to change the schema, you can keep the existing schema. It is very flexible. So ACID transactions are supported by traditional databases. Data lakes or lakehouse, you can say it's not supported, but Delta lakes are supported. Whenever there is a failure or databases as a transaction concept, it will roll back, but data lake will not roll back, and the Delta lake again it can roll back the transaction. Okay. With this, we are good. Now we need to enter into the Fabric team. So let me go to tab.fabric.microsoft.com. So let's delete this workspace. Let me create a new workspace team. This workspace is workspace 043. Create a two new item. One is Lakehouse. Workspace license I am changing from Pro to trial version. Select license, cancel this. And then you can go with new item, Lakehouse. My first lakehouse. Again, what I wanted to do in this lakehouse is I just want to create a one global folder. Now you just come to workspaces, go into workspace, create an, yeah, don't create a notebook. We have the existing notebook that I want to import notebook from this computer, upload, download, select this. Okay, maybe the file is having this naming convention issues. Don't worry. What I will do is just to say delta lake. Just a minute. What I will, I'll just give me a minute. Okay. What I have to do is I need to reduce. It is saying 40 MB. Just a minute. 1 minute and just okay. Now I just created a smaller file. Now just click on import notebook from this computer, upload, because in that notebook there are some data sets also imported. I just removed it. Just exit it. Getting just click on this notebook, close it. No, that window. Okay. So now let's understand him a few things, right? This is my notebook. So what I wanted to do as a first step is, okay, what I wanted to do as my first step is, I want to attach my lakehouse that I have existing data source, connect. Okay. Okay. So see team here, this is in a SQL, right? So you need to use a two SQLs, percentile SQL. Normally percentile SQL supported in the Databricks, but percentile SQL you need to give if you want to run anything in the SQL. Now I am creating my first delta table. How to create your first delta table is create table name. This is the column name, and this is the data type, and this is a constraint. ID is a not null. I am saying ID must be a not null. Next name, which is a string. So name also must be a not null. Age is also int. Using what is the table format in delta table, because that's why I'm saying using delta. Now let's try to create first. Okay, so delta table is created. Now I want to know that table, right? Details. Just I'm saying describe formatted emp. It will tell you where exactly this particular table is created. Let me just see extend it. Oh, okay, sorry. So two percentiles you need to give him, as I mentioned. So this also should work. Format, just execute it, anything is fine. Describe extended or formatted, anything is fine. Now if you see, this location of this file is in oneLake. Okay, in oneLake. So this is the location in oneLake, and so this is the default workspace. Under that workspace, under this particular lake house, okay, these are IDs, because these are default IDs which it is going to use it. Under tables folder, this emp table is created. This is the default location of this table, and this is a what type of table. If you see, this is a managed table. If you see, this is a managed table. And what type of table it is it a delta table or CSV table? If you see, the provider is delta, meaning it's a delta table. It is a delta table. So you can also use describe extended or formatted, anything you can use. Both will give the almost same details. You can see it is also giving the location delta. If you click on the location, you can see the location of it. Okay, so this is called a managed table. Managed table locations, you can't change it. Managed table locations, you can't able to change it. Clear, all of you team? Everybody understood? Okay, fine. Now what we wanted to do, you come here, you can say percentile SQL. Now insert into emp table values 1 comma rama comma 10. What I am doing, team, I am inserting the one record into this emp table. Emp is a what type of table? It is a managed delta table. It is a managed delta table. Now I want to, so if you want to see in this particular path, right, where is this path? This is the path, right? Earlier, if you see, now I inserted the data. Now if I see like this, if I query it, oh shit, 1 second, it should be notebook utilities, notebook utils dot fs dot ls. So now you see in this particular path, 1 second, I'll also mention display so that it will make our life very easy. So you can see here, wherever we have this, right? So what it is doing, team, abfs, it is not working here. Display is not coming way properly. Otherwise, just do a print. If display is not working, do a print. Print is also not able to format properly. Mm, okay, it's okay, because it is little tough for you to understand. That's the problem. See here, there are two paths you are seeing, right? One path is for delta log, another path is for the parquet file. Okay, so what happens is whenever you create a table, only delta log will be available. When you insert the data, you'll be able to see the parquet file as well. Are you all clear? Are you all clear on this team?
Yes.
So now I'm dropping the table emp. When I drop the table emp, when I drop the table emp, so table is dropped. Now if you see this list down the content, it will throw an error because this emp is not available. Now you check the tables, it will say there is no tables in this. There is no tables in this because what happens is when you create a managed tables, data will be there in the table. If you delete the managed table, data also will be deleted. For example, I want to show you once again for you. I am creating a table. Again, I am creating a table. Okay, so I'm going to list down the table details. See, now it is saying under tables there is a emp. Now I'm going to ask under emp, can you show me what we have? So it is saying there is a delta log. Now even if you ask for describe formatted emp, it will show you the same things. Okay, this is the location and so on. Now I am inserting the data. When you insert the data, now you will be able to see two things. Now you will be able to see two things. One is delta log, second is parquet file. You need to point to the emp table because you are pointing to only tables. See, now in emp folder if you go, now you are seeing two things. One is delta log, second one is parquet file. Parquet file contains data, delta log contains logging information. I was explaining, right, at the time of this point, at the time of efficient read and write, what I said, whatever data you are writing, first it will log it in which file, what details it is writing. So it will have all the statistics. Based on statistics, when user is querying, first it will check where location equal to Bangalore. Okay, Bangalore records are available in which parquet file. It will give you that particular parquet file. It will go and read only that particular parquet file. As we inserted only one record, one parquet file you are seeing, but if you insert more records, you will see more parquet files. Clear? Now, if I drop the table, what is going to happen, Tim? If I drop the table, what is going to happen? So the data that we have in this EMP, right? That EMP folder itself got deleted because EMP table is deleted means everything is deleted. That is the managed table. Now let's go with the external tables. We will go into the external table now, right? So before I move on to the external table, uh, see, I am just creating your notebook utils dot fs.ls files slash global slash india slash silver slash mp. This path is currently available or not available? This path is currently not available, right? Even if you click on this files, if you click on this say relative path, if you say relative path, you will be taking only this much, right? Files slash global. But I already have taken a file slash global slash india slash silver slash emp. This silver slash emp path is not available currently, correct? But now let's see what happens. Now this path is not available, but if you come down, I am just taking the same path, file slash global slash india slash silver slash emp. I am creating a external table. What is this table? External table. This is not a managed table. How you will say it is external table? I am mentioning the external location, my own location I am mentioning. It is called an external table. Create table emp id int not null name string not null age int using delta. Location is this. I'm just creating a external delta table in this location. Okay, so when I use external location, okay, external table is created, right, using external location. Now I'll ask describe formatted EMP. So it is going to tell you, hey, this is the external table. This is the external table. And the location of this table, if you see, it is not straightforward. It is not straightforward file slash global India. Instead, this is the one lake. In that one lake, this is the workspace. In this workspace, this is the lake house. This is your lake house ID. What is this lake house? My first lake house 001 is there, right? That is your lake house. In that lake house, you have a files folder. In that files folder, you have global. In that global, you have India folder. In that India folder, you have silver folder. In that silver folder, you have a EMP folder. Okay, EMP folder. Are you getting tip? So now you need to take this entire thing, or it is not required entire thing. You can also put it like this: notebook utils.fs.ls. Clear all of you? So now you are able to see only delta log, because we created an external table, but we have not inserted any data. That's why you are able to see the delta log. Clear all of you? Now I'm inserting one record into this particular EMP table. I'm inserting one record into this EMP table. Insert into EMP, values are 1 comma rama comma 50. See, for example, if you have any doubt, let me tell you. Maybe you people have some doubts, right? So current workspace ID you see, where is current workspace name? Current workspace ID, where are you? Current workspace ID you see 64819. See, are you seeing this? I'm talking about workspace. Next, this is the lakehouse ID I'm saying, right? 7B94, where you can see current lakehouse. Where is that ID? See here, default lakehouse workspace ID 64819. So that is the current one also, right? This is the one. Default lakehouse workspace ID, default lakehouse ID, default lakehouse workspace. Oh, sorry, this is workspace ID. This is the lakehouse ID. See, 7B94, 7B948088. Are you seeing that? Yes. Clear team? This is the workspace ID. This is the lakehouse ID. If they have mentioned the exact name of those things, it will be easy for all of us to read it. Okay, that's okay. Now I inserted the data. Now I want to see what data I have in it. I can query it like this because already Lagos is my so delta log is there and Parquet file is also added. What is happening in the Parquet file team? Parquet file will have a data, delta log will have the logs. But what is the difference between managed table and external table? Now you will see the difference. Now earlier when I deleted the external
Voice is
table,
breaking.
hello. Able to hear me now? You able to hear me now? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, uh, so notebook utilities.fs.ls we have seen for the managed table also when we query we have seen delta log and Parquet file. For external table also when I query I'm seeing delta log and Parquet file. But what is the difference between managed table and external table is, if you remember when I drop the managed table, what happened to it? When I drop the managed table, what happened? What
Table
happened there?
data will be deleted.
Yes, entire table got deleted, right? Entire table, including the data, got deleted. Now I am dropping this external table. Currently drop table emp is external table. I am dropping that. So this is dropped. Now I am just querying it. Still I have the data. Still I have the data. But if you try to query this table, okay, if you try to query this table, just execute this. This table is not available. It is throwing error because table is not available, but still data is available. Okay, that is the difference between external table and managed table. When you delete the managed table, data also will get deleted. External table, when you delete external table, only table structure will be deleted, data remains there. Now later, if you want to create once again, okay, you have seen, right? I just executed above only notebook utilities. Utils.fs.ls, you are able to see the file slash global slash India. So you are able to see part file and delta log both. Now select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. What is meant by this? You are trying to query, but you will not have any data. Same thing, I think, repeated step. Let me delete these things. So now what I wanted to do, table is not there. I am creating the table, this table. I am creating this table pointing to this location. Are you getting? I'm repeating for external table once again, team. I created a external table. Okay. Then I have inserted a one record into that external table. And when I inserted a one record into external table, I am able to see parquet file along with the delta. Then I dropped a emp table. Now when I query emp table, I am not able to see because table is deleted, but still data available. How many records are available? One record. Now table is deleted. Later I realized I want to create table once again. You can create a table like this. Okay, you can create a table like this. Sorry, you can create a table like this. Okay, you can create the table like this. Now I can directly query this table. I can directly query this table. See here, 1 Rama 50. Am I getting? Now the question is, in this particular file, you don't know what columns are there. So today you know you have defined it, but if you don't know the columns, can you can you create a table, external table? Yes. Let me show you that. So I'm dropping this table once again. What I'm doing, I'm dropping this table once again. Drop table. EMP. I dropped the table. Yes, table is dropped. When you query, you will get an error. Now I'll show you another way. For example, you have already data available in this path. How to create action table is without defining this schema, just by using like this. Create table EMP using delta. Using delta location is this. This is how also you can able to create the table. If you no need to aware the schema thing. Clear? Now you can create as many tables. For example, I want to create a gold EMP table. In the gold EMP table, you can create 2% sanity. Okay. Next. So, for example, I want to create a bronze EMP table. I can create a bronze EMP table. Okay. And I want to create a silver EMP table. I can able to create a silver EMP table. Silver EMP table I can able to create it. So where you can able to see this particular path, these are here. So if you expand this global, you will see India folder. Under India, we have created a bronze, gold, silver. So if you see bronze, you have BR underscore EMP. If you go to gold, you are seeing Gold, if you go, you will be able to see the gold table also. See GL underscore EMP. If you click on the silver, click on the
Where
silver.
do we see that manage tables?
Silver table also you can see EMP and SL underscore EMP table also you can able to see. Okay. So that's how you can able to create the external tables and the manage tables in Delta Lake. Yes. Any questions?
Where do we see that manage tables?
Tables. So I think the table should be just a minute. All these tables should be available here. See here. BR underscore EMP, EMP, GL underscore EMP, SL underscore EMP, you are able to see here. Manage tables, Excel table, everything you can able to see here on. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions, Tim? Because it is very simple, right? If you remember, when we created a manage table or Excel table, when we look at the location of it, we have seen that is the location is the default lakehouse, meaning the tables are available in the default lakehouse here itself. Understood? Here. Next. Now show databases, percentile SQL show databases. So you can also show the databases, Tim. Let me see if I can. See, my first lakehouse is the database in which we created. But I want to create in some other database. Can I create it? Yes, you can do that. But you can see show databases means it is currently showing only my first lakehouse. And you can also see what is the current active database that you are using. Okay, current database that you are currently using is my first lakehouse 001. In this only I am currently creating all my tables. But can I create my own database? Yes, create a database delta dv. You can say delta dv. Sorry, here you should have a 2% else. Now this lakehouse can be created in a multiple ways. Okay, what it is saying, create database is failed, right? Okay, fine. So create a database is failed means do something like this. Create a lakehouse delta db. Okay. So if it is not working, you have a way, right? The way is notebook utilities dot lakehouse dot create, right? So you can give the lakehouse name. Lakehouse, I'll say my second lakehouse 002. Just execute it. Okay. Is it working? Is it creating team? So my second lakehouse 002 is like basically created. Now you can say select current database that is using. Select current database that is using. Current database is my first lakehouse 001 only still. I want to now use my second lakehouse. This is what I want to use whenever I created tables from now onwards. What you can do is you can say percentile SQL. You can say use database this. From now onwards, can you use this database? I'm saying. Okay. Now you come here. You just ask now. Now you ask after you execute this command. Now you ask what is the current database that is active. It is saying my second lakehouse 002. Now, if you create any tables, let's say, now let me just to drop all these things unnecessary things. Now you see my second lakehouse 002. In my second lakehouse 002, do we have any tables I want to check? I'm just using show tables. So it is saying there is no tables. Now I am creating my first table in my second lakehouse. In which lakehouse I am creating table team? My second lakehouse. Now I am going to create my table. Let's see. Describe formatted of, okay, again. So describe formatted of product table if you ask. So this is now in a different workspace. It should be in a different workspace now. Let's, oh sorry, this is same workspace team, but lakehouse has to change. See, lakehouse side earlier 7D something is there, but now ECC 7B. Now you can also see this table. This is a managed table. Let's do one thing. What you can do? Click on this. Click on existing data sources. See, my second lakehouse is also there. You can just attach it here. Now you just go here. Go to tables. See product table. Are you able to see that product table? Are you able to see product table or not? Yes. Next. So now you can ask show tables. These tables from the lakehouse. My second lakehouse, it is showing the tables. The only product table is currently available. Now if you want to query that, okay, now I am going to check further. Notebook utilities.fs.ls mnd slash file slash global slash india slash silver. So this is basically pointing to, still it is pointing to my first lakehouse, because currently it is the default. Now I make this as my default lakehouse. Okay, now I made my second lakehouse as my default lakehouse. Now what happens if I try to check this path is available or not? Are you able to understand or not, Tim? Clear, right? See, this path is not available. Right now, what I wanted to do is I want to create an external table. I want to create a external table on this particular second lakehouse. So currently my default lakehouse is second lakehouse. So in that second lakehouse, it is automatically going to create India, silver, cust, and it is going to add a cust table as my external table. It is creating. Let's read. It is created, right? Only thing is it is not refreshed yet. Just a minute. Now global is there, India is there, silver is there. Under silver, cust is there. In tables also, it should show the cust table. Let's see now. See, are you able to see the cust table, team? Are you able to see the cust table?
Yes.
Yes. So now cust table is also created. Cust table is external table. Now I want to check the data through utility commands. See notebook utilities.fs.ls, if you say, it is clearly saying there is a cust table. There is a cust table under silver. But there should be delta log, right? Why delta log is not showing? Let's execute once again.
Under silver, we mentioned cust, right?
Oh, only cust I selected. Oh, sorry. It should be cust. So cust, when you say delta log is going to be visible. Okay. Now I want to describe format of this cust table. Describe formatted of cust table. Now you see there is a location. In this location you can see clearly if you click on this E. It is starting with the ECC. It is nothing but a second lakehouse. And it is a delta table. Correct. Next. Now I am going to ask show tables. So you can also see here through UI we have seen there are two tables we have. One is product, second is cost table. Product is the managed table, cost is the external table. Now I want to drop the my second Lakos. Can I drop the second Lakos team? Notebook utilities dot fs dot delete. I want to delete my second Lakos. Can I delete my second Lakos? Let's try. Notebook utils dot fs dot delete. It's not fs, right? It should be Lakos dot delete. It is deleted. Now you will not be able to see any data. Correct? We just deleted. You will not be able to see here. The lakehouse itself will not be available. Correct? Now you try to refresh this. It says it is not available. It says it is not available. Specified lakehouse does not exist, it is saying. Because we just dropped it. That's why whenever you are dropping the lakehouse, you have to be very careful. If you have a data, you have to handle it very carefully. Clear, team? Now again you want to create a lakehouse. What you can do, team? Again you have to say like this. Just to say create. Execute this. So what it is saying, it is throwing an error, right? I think request is not available yet. Is expected to become available in the upcoming minutes because it is it is still being deleting. It is being deleted in the back end, so that's why it is not able to create. So that's why meantime, what you can do is you can try to create a my second Lego 003 with a different name. You can try to create it. But even though I created a my lake of 003, but if you look at your team, but if you look at your current underscore database, still it is pointing to my previous second lake of 002. It will not change automatically. You need to change it. How you have to change it, I'll tell you. But before that, I want to create this particular table. I want to create this table in my second lakehouse 003. So you can specify like this also. Just execute this. 1 second. A lot of changes I would have made, but to do less time I was not able to do. And a lot of improvements set to come in the fabric because a lot of tools are missing. Otherwise, we would have handled all these things with a single change. Okay. Now let's try to attach the third lakehouse that we created, lakehouse 003. And I'll make this third lakehouse as my default lakehouse here. Okay. So in this lakehouse, now if you say show tables, I don't want to drop it now. I just want to show you, yeah, show databases. If you show the database system, it will show only two databases, meaning two lakehouses only it will show currently because the second lakehouse, this one I have deleted, right? Only these two databases it will show. But the point here is when you use current underscore database, it is still pointing to which database? It is still pointing to lakehouse 002 only. It is still pointing to lakehouse 002 only.
We make it Lakehouse 003 as the default, right?
What did?
We make that Lakehouse 003 as default. Then why
Yes,
it is
yes.
showing?
Currently we have these two only, but Lego 002 is not there. But still, if you ask current database, it will say 002 only. Oh, I made it already 003. We have not made, right? Did we made it? Okay, I think how it is considering, I realized. Okay, we created a lakehouse itself. We created second lakehouse 003 here, but we clicked on this and we clicked set as a default lakehouse, right? We change it through UI. As we change it through UI, it is just reflecting here also. But if this through the code, same change is not reflecting here. But if you make the change through UI, same change is reflecting in the code. Are you getting? Earlier, if you remember, I made Lakehouse 002 as a default database. But what happened is that was not taken because I have done the default database change through code. How I changed it? Percentile SQL, use database like this I have done, right? Use database, my first lakehouse 001. If I make it like this, it is not changing through UI. It is not changing. But now if you say, for example, show current underscore database, it will still show. What happened? Current underscore, okay, it should be select current, not show. So my lakehouse 001, it is changed, but it is not changed here, correct? But now let's say I made it here also, I made it as a default. Okay, now if you say show current database, it is still my first lakehouse 00 only because I changed it through program. So it is reflecting. Later I changed it in the UI. UI it is not coming by default, but I changed it. Now what I'm saying is without, see, UI also I changed it. Now let's wait otherwise. So my lakehouse 001. See, when I say use database my first lakehouse and say select current database, it is showing my first lakehouse 001. After that, from UI also I changed it to lakehouse 001. It is still showing my first lakehouse. Now without UI directly, without code directly, I am changing my default lakehouse to 003. Now if you say current database, can you guess it and tell me what is going to be our current database?
I think 003.
003, meaning
3.
whenever we make some change through UI, same change is reflecting in the code. But in the code, if you make any change, that is not reflecting in the UI. That's what I want to say. Got it? Now I change the default from 001 to 003. It is reflecting here. But earlier I changed lakehouse 001 as my default. Then it was not changed to here. Getting or not?
Yes.
Now I say show databases. These are the two databases that you have. It is going to show. And current active user databases, my second lakehouse 003 only. See, these two are available, but current active one is 003 only. Next, these and all will not work. Leave about it. Next thing is primary key and foreign key things. Will it work or not? We will see because this is with respect to the Databricks. But let's see here, will it work or not? So I am trying to use a primary key constraint. Will it work or not? Directly, we'll see now. What it is saying, team? So it is clearly throwing an error primary key of ID. Okay, meaning primary key is not supported. Primary key is not supported at this moment. You can just leave it. And you don't have any clue. But in Databricks, it will say in Unity catalog, this is supported. But here in the Fabric, if you see in your Fabric, what is happening, Tim? In the Fabric, it is not able to tell when it will start working. Where it will work and all, it is not able to say. Okay. And so foreign key constant I am trying to take now. Okay, so don't try to rectify anything. Yeah, try to see foreign key. So this is the customer ID we have in a customer table, that is foreign key with the order table customer ID. Same create table. Okay, the create table issue is little different. This is so syntax error at near primary. Okay, so primary key, this is the problem. Okay, next come down. So debut this should be notebook utils dot first.ls. This path is currently available, team. This path is currently not available, right? So I'll create a table in this path. Create table emp id int not null, name string not null, age int using delta. So in this path I am creating a delta table. In this path I am creating the delta table. What happened to delta table? It is not allowing create table or view. Okay, so in this database, it is saying already this EMP table is available. It is saying so. As the table is already available, what I will do is I'll just drop the table and recreate the table. Okay, now you can create the table. Table is now table is created. Now show properties EMP. Now you can also ask the show properties EMP. Now it will show the properties of the EMP table. See, min reader is one, min writer is two. So there are some other properties also added. Okay, which are default. You don't need to worry. Now I am trying to check. If you see here, I added a not null constant. It is working, right? Similarly, I'll be adding a check constant. Check constant also will work because these are going to work in the Databricks, means this will work here. See, the Databricks is developed by the Spark developer. So that's why first anything should work in Databricks. Then only those things will work here. Clear? Everybody's clear, team? So this check constant and not null constant both are working in Databricks. So directly it will work here. So now I am saying show table properties. You can see the check constant property also will be visible here. See, check constant property also added. Now let's see whether this check constant property is really working or not. Describe formatted of EMP. You can see this is the location files global India landing EMP table. It's an external table. Now I am trying to show you one by one. I'll try to show you one by one how it is going to work. So first let me try to insert a one record. Well and good, it is working because there is no problem, right? Because if you see this table definition, first two should not be a null. Age is must be greater than or equal to 18. Greater than or equal to 18. So now if you see the first data that we inserted, first record, first two are not null, age is above 18. So it is working fine. Second one, will it work or not?
No.
No, because insert into EMP values, this is null constraint violation, right? ID is having a null. See, not null constraint violated for column ID. Next. EMP. So not null constraint violated for column name. Okay, name null constraint is violated for name. Now age violated for the C. Age should be greater than or equal to 18. So now ultimately we inserted a one record into the table. Now I am just directly querying this particular table to see how many records are there. Now you will see exactly one record will be available. Okay, one RAM of 40. So if you see insert into EMP values are 2 Krishna, 3 Sai, 4 Venkat. Now I'm inserting a 3 more records. Now it will become a total. How many records will be there in now? Now initially
4
one
records.
record inserted. Now 3 records. Total 4 records should be there when I query now. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 is coming. Now I can also do a overwrite, meaning insert overwrite into EMP table. Values are 5, Shashi 29. What is meant by overwrite? It removes the existing data, adds this fifth record. Now if you query this EMP table, now you will be able to see only fifth record. You have only fifth record? Yes. Next, if you see this EMP table, you have 1, 2, 3 records, right? You have 1, 2, 3 records. I am overwriting again. This fifth record I am removing. Again, I am overwriting with 1, 2, 3. So you can do that. Next, you can also now you can query the data. Now you'll be able to see 1, 2, 3 records. Now are you able to see 1, 2, 3 records? Yes. Now let's talk about the utilities. Utilities of the delta. You can see team first. You can able to query the data. Sorry, you can able to describe the EMP table. You can use a short form of DESC, or you can also use a describe, complete describe. So what it does is it is basically going to show you the only schema. What is the column? What is the data type? Only that much it will show you. And percentile describe formatted EMP means, remember formatted EMP means it will show you the schema along with that, whether it is external table or delta table or parquet table, or what is the location, what are the properties. Complete details will be visible when you use formatted, or you can also use the next extended. What is the next thing that you can use it? Extend or extended also you can able to use it. See, extended also giving same external location of the delta table it is giving you. Next. So if you ask for the details, right? So details will be visible or shown in a single line. That's it. Only same details, but it will show in a single line. Now, if you want to see only properties, you can show properties of the EMP. It will show only properties. Now, I am trying to see this location is available or not. So it is saying this location is not available. Okay, so how come this is not available? It is 2%. Okay, I'm not sure whether this is going to work or not. Better notebook utils.ls you can say, because this path must be existed. Why it is saying not existed, I don't know. Yeah, this path is existed and a lot of parquet files and delta logs you can see here, right? Now what you can do, now I want to know that like history of it. I want to know history of EMP table, what all things we have done. If you remember, first we created this employee table, then we added a age constraint, then we inserted a one record, 2, 3, 4 failed due to the constraint violation. Then we have inserted first one record, then 2, 3, 4 we inserted, right? You can see first appended with one record, next two, three, four in appended, next fifth with fifth record we have overwritten. After that we have overwritten with some one, two, three. Right? We have a data like this. Clear all of you team? Now let's say I'm going to create a like in the this one files. I want to go for global. Let's click on this. I want to show you global. Under global you have India, under India you have landing, under landing you have only the EMP, right? I'll be creating one subfolder called flight data. Now on top of this flight data folder, in this folder I want to insert the data. What I can do is Just a minute, I'll show you. You have to click on this upload files. Just a minute, I'll upload and I'll show you. Sorry, flight schedule data, right? You can just upload the flight schedule data. Now if you see team, what I have done is I am just uploading the flight schedule file under this folder. Got it? So under global India landing, under landing flight data folder, I uploaded a flight schedule.csv file. So now what we wanted to do is I want to read that particular file and show you the data first. Okay, so this is the data that we have. So on top of this data, now what I wanted to do is I want to read this particular data. You can read it in another way also. One way is this is the one way. Spark.read.csv, you can just display. The second way how you can read is select star from CSV dot this path you can give. So this way also we can able to read the data. We can able to read the data. This way also you can able to read. Got it? But this is in SQL. You have to remember that. Not in Spark. Here it is a Spark. This is a Spark. Directly if you want to read any file in SQL like this percentile SQL select star from CSV dot this location you need to give. Next, if you come down, this same data I am taking and I am creating a table. This table is what? What type of table? Is it a delta table or CSV table? It's a CSV table. Remember that it's a CSV table. Got it? Create table. This is a table name using CSV options. These are the paths. Got it, team? This table is created. Now you want to know what is this table, whether it is a delta table, whether it is a CSV table, what type of table it is. You can see now here. What you can do, you can see. It's a external CSV table. Are you seeing that? External CSV. External CSV. Are you able to see that, team? Next. Come down. Create or replace table flight schedule. I'm creating a table. See, this is called a CTAS, meaning you can create a table as, meaning you read the CSV file with this data you can create another table and load this data into this table. Now this table is going to be a delta table or this table is going to be a CSV table.
Delta table.
Create delta table with the CTAS, right? So create or replace table. This is a flight schedule as. So remember team, this is going to be a delta table. All the tables default it will be delta. So that's why even though you are just taking CSV data and loading into this table, that's it. It is not that you are creating a CSV table. Remember that, okay? Okay, done. Now I want to query this table and first to show you the data. You are able to see all the data here. Okay, columns and data you are able to see. Next, I want this person. So I want to show you whether it is a delta table or CSV table. What type of table you see here? It's a managed delta table. It's a managed table. But I want to create an external table with a CTAS. Create or replace table. Location is this as select star from, meaning I am reading a CSV file getting a data. This data I am dumping into this delta external table. How you will know delta? If you are not specifying anything, by default it's a delta. By default it is a delta. That is the only thing that you need to remember. Got it? Next, select star from flight schedule, flight underscore schedules. Select star from flight underscore schedule. You see, when I query this, I am getting the data, but this time I am getting this data from the external table. Flight underscore schedule is a external table. This is a external table. Flight schedule underscore test is a, sorry, flight schedule is the managed table. Flight underscore schedule is the external table. Understood? Understood, team. Here I mentioned location. Next, we will talk about how to copy data into the delta table. First, I am creating a delta table. Okay, first I am creating a delta table team, and then I am copying the data into this delta table. I am copying the data into delta table. Okay, how to copy data into delta table is, this is a delta table, copy into delta table. So from this location, it's a, in this location I have a CSV files, and I want to make sure that whenever we are reading CSV file, header equal to true, info scheme equal to true, I'm using that. I will read all this data and I will load that data into credit table. Okay, let me create a credit data folder. Here itself we need to create a one more thing. Only thing is I have to minimize every time. That's the problem. I have to, just a minute. Due to the system issue. I'll click on landing, subfolder, credit data I want to create. Under credit data, click on this, click on upload files, select credit data, right? So I'll be selecting all these three files. Upload this. Okay, now credit data folder, I uploaded all the data type. In credit data folder, I uploaded all the data. Now, what we are doing, Tim, it's not a C tag, right? We want to go into copy into. So this is the credit data folder where I uploaded CSV files. It is reading the CSV files and loading the data into credit data table, credit data delta table. But there is an error. It is throwing. What is the error, Tim? Files global India landing credit data. File slash global slash India slash landing slash credit data. Okay. I think it is not working in the Fabric team, but same thing is working in the Databricks. Copy into the copy command itself is not taking, or is it something case sensitive? No, copy itself it is not supporting, so you have to remove it. Copy into is not supporting them. So the way what you can do is you have to just take the data from the data into df, and you have to say df dot write dot save as table this credit data. Already table is there, it will just write the data into the table. Okay, so that's how you need to do. Because as we have not inserted any data, even if you query, you will see empty data. There is no data available in this. Okay, next, see there is no data available in this. Now the final thing what you need to know is here create table test1 and the id int name string using delta. You can just use your customized table properties. Using this customized table properties, you can able to create it. Okay. Shit. Business. Okay. Why all these things are changed, I don't know. But okay. So now it should work. It's a simple table I am creating, but it's with my own table properties. Okay. Fine. Now, if you want to show your table properties, you can just show the table properties. You need to use a percentile. Show table properties of the test one. Whatever you have kept, those things plus there will be some default fabric is adding. So those also will be added. Okay. Yeah, that's all, Tim. I already shown you how you can able to create a external table without defining a schema. Directly, if you have a path, in this path, if you have a data, you can directly create a table on top of it. Are you getting? Percentile SQL. But I think this table is already available. That's why it is throwing this. You can, what you can do is you can just drop this table and you can able to recreate the table. And then you can select the data from this table. I dropped, I recreated. Now I'm querying. When you query, you need to query like this. Okay, Tim. Clear? So in today's session, the summary is we learned how to create a managed table and external table. Managed table is you won't mention any path, but the external table you will mention the path. And you can also know more details about the table using the describe table, describe formatted table, describe extended table, history, describe history of the table. Okay, so you can know those things. Then we talked about how to create a lake houses, how to switch between the lake houses using the notebook utilities already we discussed. And you know manage tables, what is the default location. We know external table, what is the default location. You will also know where these manage table and external tables can be seen. So the manage table or external table can be seen in this lakehouse here itself. Okay, clear? That's all for today, team. Please let me know if you have any questions. Anybody have any questions? Okay, team. If no questions, then thank you all. That's all for today.